You're watching Sideshow Live Deals and Reveals. The show will begin shortly.
In 2013, we debuted our original Obi-Wan Mythos figure. That piece did spectacularly well. We followed that up with a very popular and also sold out 6-scale version. And what we have here is the ultimate quarter-scale premium format Mythos Obi-Wan.
Mythos was a category that Sideshow stepped into with Star Wars, and its original intention was to find those gaps in the story. But Obi-Wan Kenobi being absent from Mythos was something we felt we needed to address.
This figure was very complicated from the get-go. Lots of layers of clothing. Tim brought an amazing level of detail with all the little strapping and buckles and all the little weathering points.
With this Obi-Wan premium format, we really wanted to change some of the details on it from the previous versions. We have different pouch elements, different ways to carry the lightsabers. We have the training droid, we have the moisture evaporator. All of these things kind of create its own character in a way. I think the big thing that ties all of these elements together is the weathering, showing that he's been really in the desert for some time. These layers have faded away, they've worn, they've ripped, they've torn. This is something he's really been through it. But for that additional layer of paint, we had Paint Master Bernardo on this thing, and he absolutely killed it with the details.
Painting this piece off the bat was full circle for me. We wanted to bring the younger Obi-Wan closer to what we know as the older Obi-Wan, Alec Guinness. I went ahead and added a little bit more gray into the beard and the sides of the hair, maybe just adding a little bit more crow's feet around the eyes, adding a little bit of the sunburn touches to Ewan's face because he's young, he's new on that planet, so he's getting sun-kissed from the sun. And then with Alec Guinness, or older Obi-Wan, bringing a little bit more brown into the hair.
The Mythos category continues to be a vibrant area for Sideshow's development. It's been in great demand, and with both those pieces being sold out, we're really excited to offer this figure in quarter scale.
For the latest updates from Sideshow, sign up for Sideshow's SMS and newsletter. You'll get news and exclusive access to deals, giveaways, contests, and so much more.
Don't have an account with Sideshow? Follow the link on screen to receive $5 in Sideshow rewards.
To receive $5 in Sideshow rewards, follow the link on screen to sign up for this event.
our latest updates, sign up for Sideshow SMS. You'll get news and exclusive access to deals, giveaways, and so much more.
Today on Sideshow Live, we'll be checking out the brand new Star Wars Scum and Villainy collection, showcasing the exclusive edition of the Batman Premium Format figure and celebrating our Fandom Rewind event with deals and giveaways. Now, your hosts, Guy Klender and Chris Manning.
Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We are live in the studio. I'm Chris Manning.
I'm Guy Klender, and you are here for our Fandom Rewind event.
Rewind.
Exactly. Chris and I are going to rewind back to some of our favorite IPs, our favorite franchises, both film and television. And they got a couple of sneak peeks in that first few seconds. Now, you are here at the 11 o'clock show, but we have had shows going all day, and this event goes all week. Today, you may have been here for the 9 a.m. kickoff show in our Sideshow social network. Make sure you're part of that. There's always stuff going on, and there's always kind of giveaways, things like that.
We love
giveaways.
It's
a great way to jump it up. Talking about giveaways, we did one on our Instagram account at 10 a.m. We had another giveaway at 10 a.m. on our Sideshow Live, and now we're here, Sideshow Live here, and then we are going to have a wrap-up show at 4, and that's just day one. Because we're going all the way through the end of the week. All right. So, Chris.
Yeah.
There was a couple of things in that intro.
There were.
That were pretty unique, pretty impressive, and definitely rewound to the year of 1977.
Oh, yes.
Big year for movies.
Big year. I wonder what happened. What came out in 1977?
What came out in 1977? Yep, there we go. Chris, you're going to be talking with Kat today about Mystique that we saw in our Sideshow Con event and how she created that. I'm going to let you transform into interview mode, and we're going to talk a little bit about that collection. Can we bring up that graphic? 5 brand new figures from the Scum and Villainy collection were introduced today. You know them by name. Some of you may know them by multiple names in these, particularly that guy in the orange jacket. I could talk about these all day long, but I don't want it to just be me. So I'd like to bring on some friends of mine that helped to create these toys. Can I bring on, come on, take a look, jump back. Get me a close-up of these characters. I want to bring on Anthony Messis, Jesse Lincoln. Guys, let's talk Star Wars.
All right, all right.
Hey, all right.
What's up?
Hey, everybody. These guys make this stuff. It's absolutely spectacular, and we get to talk about Star Wars. Now, in 2010, Sideshow did a Greedo figure. Now, let's get a close-up of this. This is this year's brand new Greedo. I love him, you love him, and so we're going to give him away. Right now, go to side.show/FR Live, Fandom Rewind Live. You're going to be able to enter to win the Greedo. And while you're entering, let's talk about this stuff.
Can I enter to get that?
Absolutely. Pull out your phone and make sure you're logged into your account.
I already have it.
All right. In front, you've got the guy I want to talk about most.
Walrus Man.
Absolute Walrus Man, folks.
Walrus Man.
Absolutely. Now, this you brought him up as Walrus Man, and this is the way I remember him in 1978. Technically, we didn't get him for a year.
But look how we're so close.
We are so close. We almost got those flipper feet. Gosh darn it!
His little wetsuit.
It is really fun to have this in 6 scale from Sideshow like that. The portrait on this is gorgeous, but what I thought was cool when I was looking at it and we saw in some of the photos, if we can bring up some of the slideshows, is we're getting those alternate hands.
Yes.
We're getting the alternate hands on that. And now, Jesse, do you know much about that? Like, was it while they were filming that they went, he's supposed to be holding something, how would he do it with a hoof?
Yeah, when he originally, in the scene where he's interacting with everyone, he's got those big hoofs, right? But you really don't see him in that shot. But then when they cut away and you see his arm being cut off by Ben, it's a completely different hand.
Totally different arm.
So, and those are one of the things that, you know, in the early days, you didn't really, catch it per se in the movie, but then all of a sudden when the books would come out and all the behind the scenes, you start to say, oh look, he's got these big hooves, and I think in one shot, even his jacket's shorter. There's all these little,
It's because there was no CGI.
Yeah, and it was all made on budget. Like, oh gosh, we only have one of that. We've got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, it was budget, and you had to react. And if something went amiss on, set or anything, you had to be like, all right, how do we fix this? And some of the times, even though they were well into it, they thought something else looked better, and they were just like, you know what? We're going to change it.
It could have been a pickup shot. Could have been
exactly.
a number of different things for the inconsistency.
Now, when you talk about that was kind of an interesting thing you brought up about, you're working on it and then this could be better and change it. I'm guessing that you guys do that a lot in your creative process.
Oh, absolutely.
To go, hey, great, and then change it a bit.
I mean, we even get to that when some of these head sculpts get done, and once you get paint on them, you realize, you know what, something's off. Maybe the eyes are too small, or maybe some of the features need to be exaggerated and stuff.
Okay.
So we're constantly, refining.
Yeah, you definitely have to get in there and have something physical in front of you to look at and to check the proportions and check with the movie shots and the stills and just double check. But the good thing is that now there's so many books and reference to these things. Back in the day, I mean,
you could see what they.
This is what we were looking at.
We had that, or
this is what we were doing.
I remember having the movie cards, and you would look at the little, the little playing, not a playing cards, but the trading cards.
Yep, the trading cards.
Well, that's original because the original guys who were working on these, they only got so many photos as these were, developing so quickly.
Polaroids, continuity shots.
And they're the ones that would come up and nickname them Walrus Man.
It was between the toy guys and then I think the creature creator guys. This is just what we call them.
Because I was like, Walrus Man, to me as a kid, I always thought he looked like a big tarantula face. I was like, I knew what a walrus looked like, and that wasn't what a walrus looked like. But to me, he had like a spider face, these big fangs and buggy eyes and everything. So in my head, he was more spider than walrus.
Tarantula face does need to be somebody's nickname. That needs to be somebody's nickname. Yeah. Right here in the center, let's jump. They just took a quick shot there of Greedo. Now, he was made by Sideshow in 2010, and so now we're revisiting him. Lots of updates. The outfit, the sculpt, and what I think is neat that they even included the hand so he can hold the blue milk.
Which is the exclusive.
That's the exclusive.
Yes. Yep.
Everything from this from the ground up, even a new body from the old one as well.
Everything.
So there's nothing from the old one.
And the thing is we revisit these figures because just like with anything, movies, everything evolves. So our cut and sew has evolved since then. Various materials, 3D printing, you name it, and we're able to tighten everything back up and get enough to where we do and we revisit the character and
after 14, 15 years, we see things change by the month now. But to think that many years. Now this guy over here though has never been done by anybody, I think, in 12-inch, correct?
I'm trying to think.
I don't think anybody's
ever done it.
Even tried to do it. I love that there was something fun about that he has this hood. Yep. Nobody knows who he is. Come on, you're the most sinister-looking guy in the group.
But the thing is he was only in there so brief. And then throughout the years, he became a character that people started to gravitate to. And then with that being said, people wanted to see it in their collection. Because before, even going back to as a kid, I'm like, I don't remember that guy. And it's like, oh yeah.
I think one of the reasons the Mystique to him is because he was never made as an original figure back in the day.
Right.
It took almost 20 years to get him as just even as a 3/4. So there's always these characters that were never represented in a toy form, and now it's like,
and that's usually what dictated the evolution of it getting into a big figure or statue,
to be
or anything
to be
see
kind
what
of
the fans wanted. But now as everything evolved, it's like, hey, we need to,
Yeah, for us, he was Walrus Man. Now we know him as Pondo Baba. We've all, they've all got names. I think back then we called him Long Snout, right? And now he has a full name. Now we did get some questions down in the chat, so that I want to address some of them. Make sure you're RSVP'd because more information is going to be coming about these. But the one was about the bases. Now these are the prototypes, and we put them on these temporary bases. You will have a stand and everything else, and I'm sure there's going to be great artwork and accessories and all things like that. Now these are also a very limited edition. They're doing a small run of these, particularly on guys like this that we didn't see too much.
Yeah, and we did talk about the hands on him. The flipper hands are the exclusive for him.
Okay, so this is what he's saying is when you have that button to click, whether you're getting the exclusive or not, click the exclusive.
And I'm pretty sure they're the same price. So it's like, just get in there.
Anytime you get the exclusive, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Now, one person who does not have to worry about click an exclusive button or anything like that is Dave Stein. Congratulations, Dave Stein.
Nice.
You are our winner of the Greedo 6-scale figure by Sideshow from the new Scum and Villainy collection.
We're just packing this up and sending it.
Absolutely.
Yep, I'll wrap it
we
up
would just wrap it. Can we bubble wrap that?
Yep.
Guys, thanks so much for coming in
Yeah,
and talking
no
about
problem.
these. I've got a slide I want to show you guys while they step out. Let's jump back to the big group shot, and you're going to see some silhouettes of, that is wave 2 you're looking at there in silhouette. Guys, it is going to be absolutely spectacular, so keep looking to Sideshow. Make sure you're RSVP'd, signed up to the newsletter to learn about these as well as the others. For those of you that didn't win today, right now, Greedo is up for pre-order. That just happened this morning. Now, coming up right now, Chris is going to be talking with Kat about the Mystique statue you may have seen at Sideshow Con. We have the swap out elements there, and we're going to talk about the challenges that were made doing to that particular figure. So right now, let's take a look at that Mystique, and then when we come back, the statue, Chris and Kat right here in studio.
All right, and I am back with this beautiful Mystique statue, but I can't really talk about it without having the artist here in studio with us. So, Kat Sapene, welcome. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's great to see you too. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
I mean, just looking at the full scale
it's so
of
cool.
this, it is so cool. And congratulations, it looks absolutely beautiful here.
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled with how it's coming out.
It's really fantastic. I mean, I just love everything that you've got going on here. You've got your comic book. I mean, she's been a villain. She's been an X-Man. You know, she's kind of all over. Here it looks like she's trying to get her Brotherhood of Mutant friends.
She's getting her gang out of the prison.
She's bringing the gang, getting everybody back together.
Yeah, getting the band back together.
I love it. So, Kat, tell me a little bit. The challenges with painting a non-human colored skin present. How did you work around that? I mean,
it's so like when we're doing skin tones, we usually have a very particular set of techniques that we use for doing the skin with some speckling and different colors. So mostly it was just kind of rethinking the colors of those little speckles and what's going to work with this particular skin tone. But also, I really wanted to keep her colors very comic booky. So I really wanted her to pop off the base itself. So it was, just kind of trying to keep in mind brighter colors and making little adjustments to the colors so that they work with the blue.
Yeah, and it really does pop too, especially the blue skin, her hair, everything.
The hair is my favorite. I
hair's
always,
great.
Yeah, so sometimes you'll see Mystique with sort of like a more orangey red hair, but I've always been a real fan of that kind of like pink magenta. I just think it works so much better with the blue.
Absolutely.
It just,
I just gotta say too, I like her bling because I think usually too her skulls are white, but the gold.
You gotta have
she's
a
kind
little
of
something
stepping
to
out
pop.
a little bit.
Yeah, well, she's dressing up to break her friends out.
That's right. She's got to look good when you're doing something like that. So tell me a little bit about the process on painting a figure that's morphing into a different form here.
Yeah, that's one that took a little bit of thought because, it's been done so many different ways in the movies and whatnot. And so we, talking to the art directors and the project managers, trying to figure out what is that, how do we want that effect to transition. And so we were kind of thinking of, we wanted it to feel like it was sort of crackling and moving, and that's the other thing, you have to sort of paint it in a way that it feels like it has some motion to it, not that it's static and that's just she's got this weird one arm,
right?
Or leg. So it was a bit of figuring out kind of how to make it have that sort of crackly feel, and to do that, I ended up going in with just this really messed up brush and just sort of putting a little bit of just a pearl paint on there and kind of just to give it a little bit of texture and a little bit of motion and feel, and then it was just a matter of sort of blending that stuff out a little bit.
I love it.
So,
well, I also love
thanks.
too when you talked about how you're blending. I mean, if we take a look here, especially at the base switch, I do love how it turns on.
I know, isn't that awesome?
Lighting up, which just really adds the comic booky colors here. You've got that yellow, that translucent kind of. But I love how you know dingy and grimy this all feels. And as you make your way up here, you know, past all the machinery, you've got the wires sticking out everywhere. All of a sudden, you've got this. You know, long, you've got the big boot.
Legs,
you got the long leg, you've got this bright, you know, the bright blue, the gun, of course.
Yeah, no,
I'm not talking about the gun.
You can't forget that one.
Right, I mean, it's like, I feel like it's about the size of her here. And it's just really, it's so well done. You see her morphing over here. She's got the guard suit. She's obviously stolen someone's ID here and taken it.
And their identity. And
it's just really,
it's
really
cool. I
beautiful
love this
here.
little, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little patch of guard uniform right here on the side. I don't know if you'll be able to
See if we can,
see it through
it's covered up a little bit, but you see, obviously,
so
she's
cool,
got the combat boots that she's changing into. She's got a little bit of his pants. Oh, yeah, look
some
at
of the like guard belt with the like little
the skulls kind of go into. She's got handcuffs, a radio, and then the emblem for obviously the cell block 16 that she's breaking everybody out of. It is really, really amazing here. So how much do you rely on reference versus experience with a piece like this?
It's always going to be a little bit of both. I mean, you know, the experience comes in when I'm doing the different techniques, but I still need reference to know what it is specifically that the art director has in their mind as far as like, how dingy do we want this base to be? How much pop do we want on her? Is there a specific kind of guard uniform? Because I don't, you know, I may not know specifically what those guards are wearing, and you want to pick some colors that tells you immediately that that's what it is. You know, that's a guard uniform. She's transitioning from having, you know, broken in as a guard, and now she's breaking out her friends. So yeah, it's a little bit. It's always going to be a little bit of both, and the experience just comes in with knowing how to paint what I've found in the reference.
Absolutely. And there's so many incredible details about this, which you should look for yourself. Side.show/FR Live. Go there. You can look at a lot more there. Kat, I just have to ask that this is obviously not the first time you've done Mystique.
No, I've done a few over the years.
Couple.
But she's always so fun. I mean, it is so nice to do a different skin tone. It's just, I love the variety in just painting statues in general. And so when you get one, you're just like, ooh, blue skin tone.
Well, Kat, thank you so much.
Absolutely,
Thanks for being here.
you.
A beautiful statue. I hope you should be very proud of this.
I love
this
it, yeah.
iteration of Mystique, fantastic. Just getting better and better.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. So we go from a bit of a evil, sinister X-Men villain here to something a little more foreboding, because we've got an Evil Dead print that we are about to look at now. There it is, Evil Dead 2. Oh, when you talk about sequels being better than the original, I don't know if this is a controversial statement or not, but I'm an Evil Dead 2 guy.
I swallow your soul, I swallow your soul. That's right, yes. I am a huge Evil Dead guy. And this is the 24 by 37. Let's bring that up again. This is a 24 by 36. This is a movie poster. This is the alternate movie poster size that a lot of fans have gotten into. And this is here with that title and graphic. Now that's massive.
It's huge.
24 by 36 is big. But here, you and I have on the table a smaller version. All right?
Slightly smaller.
This is slightly smaller. Now, this is that framed version, okay? Now, this is by Ruiz Burgess, and this is, I love his work, and this one here is spectacular. We're going to try and get some close-ups in there. You're going to be able to see some of it. First, let's take a look at the way in which this is framed. Chris, up top, or, well, even there down in the corners, we can see the unique cut on that matting.
Very unique.
On this one here. Is it's such a complementary color to what we're seeing in the background, which is that opening of the portal where things get even worse.
All the Deadites coming out here.
Things get absolutely even worse. For him. The look on Ash's face.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the, and I'm referring to the one right there. Not Deadite Ash, which is behind.
No.
This has so many nods to the film. I like the swooping motion. We're seeing that kind of blood flinging off, and it almost even has a wet look to it. Of course, the forest. And as we go down, can we pan down a little bit on this close-up? Yep.
And you got Evil Dead too, so you know that the chainsaw is going to be front and center there.
Front and center.
Really right above the house, which is great and kind of foreboding and really exciting there. I love that they're at the house, they're at the cabin, which is great.
The little hidden things that we had in that shot there that I think are great is the nod to the car. Okay, the Oldsmobile that was Sam Raimi's personal automobile that he featured in almost every one of his films.
Which is great.
We've got the Necronomicon, Henrietta's eyeball. Henrietta, and then we have the eyeball over there that Bobby Joe sadly gets launched, and that is right over on the side there. Those little nods are spectacular. Now, as I said, this is the 16 by 24. This is a G-Clay available in both a framed or unframed edition. Only 200 though. They're only 200. There are more Deadites than there are prints.
That's true.
Of this right now. Now, RSVP for this, this is going to be coming up on the 30th of the month, I believe, for order. But RSVP, and you can also enter for a chance to win.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is pretty groovy. I saw that JB just said, we need one of Army of Darkness. So, yes, I completely agree.
Absolutely.
Because I can't even imagine the details and especially little Easter eggs that we've thrown in there. It's, I mean.
You just threw in an Easter egg. Did I just hear you say the word groovy?
I did indeed.
Would you say the word groovy one more time?
I will. Groovy.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sadly, in the chats, we can't hear you, but I'm sure a lot of you are typing groovy right now.
Your best Bruce Campbell impression. Very good.
Now, coming up, we have some updates on some limited time items. And first up, let's take a look. This is Captain Rex.
I'm familiar with this guy. We talked about him. We looked in studio as we were basically doing the prototype of this. But this is our Captain Rex exclusive Phase 1 version. Now, this, look at this, the light up base, all the details on here. I mean, it's just, and of course, as we talked about, it didn't light up in studio that day because we weren't there yet, but now it lights up. This thing, the scale on this, the size of this, I mean, it blew me away.
Because you got to talk all about that. Now, that one there was, well, we'll call it the Phase 2 armor, or maybe the 1.5, because we know that Rex kind of alters it. He's not, he doesn't love on 2.
Right.
He likes 1 and he kind of creates his own. But the Phase 1 armor is kind of a fan favorite.
Absolutely.
And this is an opportunity to have your character in that Phase 1 armor, but it's still that spiral launch point that it has.
I mean, it's got so much to it, which is incredible. Now, it's just a beautiful piece.
Now, Chris, as we said, this is a limited one.
Yep.
Okay, and it's
real limited.
Real limited in the fact that what we're doing is this is a timed edition. Okay, so you order within a certain period of time and you are guaranteed to get that, but that time is running out. How long do they have?
We got 24 hours. The clock is ticking.
Tick, tick, tick. All right, let's take a look at our next limited one. Now, this is one that you and I also got a chance to look at, and that was this wonderful Batman piece. The way the cape moves and all of those bats in it. Are you watching the new Batman show?
Cape Crusader on Amazon.
Absolutely. Now, that has those long ears.
It does.
And I love the long ears.
I'm a big fan of the long ears, too.
I am a big fan.
I think it adds to, he's Batman. This is part of a bat. It kind of adds to, and also like the shadows, like when he's scaring criminals and things. I think this was what helped strike fear.
Oh, absolutely. You know? I mean, that is a menacing silhouette.
Absolutely.
But a lot of fans like the shorter cowl.
They do.
And I understand that.
I get it. More modern.
Sideshow listened, Sideshow hears you, and so they did this. And they are including that alternate portrait, so you can swap it out if you want the shorter cowl. Now, you and I, we are both fans of the longer eared cowl. I happen to also be a fan of that gray and blue. That was my introduction to Batman, was a gray and blue. But to many, it was the gray and black.
Yes, that was definitely, I mean, when I read Frank Miller's Year One, it was the gray and the black.
The gray
and that was kind of what kind of stuck with me.
So if you like a short cowl, and you like Chris, like a gray and black, look at this.
Oh, there it is.
Bam!
Check, check, check.
This is that. It's still going to be on that spire of Gotham, kind of tilted at an angle. You're going to have that short cowl, and you're going to have that black and gray. I like that he still decides to wear the brightest belt possible.
He still likes a little bit of color.
I mean, well, I think he's like, no. I mean, I lurk in the shadows and I stop bad guys, but no, I'm right here. I'm going to take you out.
It's that Bruce Wayne part of him that's just got to show off a a little bit of the bling.
Absolutely.
Like, I just want something to show off here. A little accent color.
I like that the utility utility belt is now bling. Yes. I like that. I like
It's
that.
got a lot of bling on it.
I love that idea of it. Now this, as I said, much like Captain Rex, is a limited time ordering window. Now that one is for the next 2 days.
2 days.
So they've got 48 hours. So you got 24 to get Rex, 48 to make sure that you get that Batman.
And you can always look at these in more depth at side.show. Definitely check that out because we're looking at all of this stuff today.
Absolutely.
And you can just kind of get even a closer look at all of this.
Absolutely. Now, some new things came from our distributors.
Yeah.
And now those are some big statues. We looked at some 6th. Let's take a look at a 3rd scale.
Oh, there we go. Whoa.
Right? Whoa. Chris,
love it.
I will tell you, I appreciate your throwback to the dialogue of the film.
I do what I can.
In the single word ones. From whoa to groovy.
To groovy. That's just what I got today.
And this is a whoa groovy.
Yeah.
This is by Prime 1, and this is a 3rd scale statue, so it is really big. Now, what we're seeing there is this is their museum masterpiece line, and the reason that they've got the photo of them next to each other is to really show you how different the looks are.
They look like 2 different figures.
But they're not. They're all one statue.
Yeah.
They have swap out hands, so you can decide what weapons and how he's holding them. You can also decide whether he's wearing the glasses or not, and whether he's wearing that long black coat.
It really changes up. I mean, look at even side-by-side comparison on that one. They look like they're 2 completely different figures, which is great because you can swap them out. And it is the 25th anniversary of the makers. So a great reason to pick up something like this.
Oh, my goodness. Now, we're getting into colder months. We looked at the Evil Dead, and that's kind of a, cool fall. We saw the leaves spinning around. I consider this a Christmas movie. Many people, I think, still do. Gremlins. All right.
They're in a Christmas tree.
They're in a Christmas tree. They're in a Christmas tree.
Absolutely. Oh, look at Gizmo.
These are great. This is Trick or Treat Studios, and these are going to be 1:1 scale. Now, we have our original Gizmo, but are you a Gremlins 2 guy?
I am a Gremlins 2 guy.
We'll have to decide whether that's technically a continuation of Christmas movie or not. But this is your chance to pick up George, Lenny, Daffy, and Mohawk.
Mohawk.
Yeah, is Mohawk your favorite?
Mohawk's my favorite, but I will say come on, the Bat?
Yes.
Gremlins 2.
Daffy is such a fun one.
Daffy's a good one.
To have. Now, these are each sold separately, but they all are available at sideshow.com.
Yes.
We're going to switch scales again.
Okay.
We went 6. We went quarter. We went 6. Why don't we go 1/12?
Sure.
This next one.
Let's go.
Shrink it down.
Shrink it down.
Let's pull that up. Can you believe it's been, I think this is the 30th anniversary, if I'm correct.
Is it really been 30 years?
30th anniversary of Hellboy. Now, this is Hellboy, and next to him, Lobster Johnson. Which I think really should be a chain of restaurants.
Absolutely.
It absolutely should be.
So.
And as
Red
I said,
Lobster, I think, is going under a little bit. I think Lobster Johnson can come in there.
Is a new one. This is from our partners, 1,000 Toys. This is the 12th scale, so they're going to be about that 6-inch, but they are super articulated. As we go through these photos of Hellboy.
I love too that it's using a lot of the Mike Mignola art on that. I mean, that's what got me into Hellboy. That's what I love about those comics. And seeing that kind of articulated here, it's really incredible.
It's much more comic based. And you see all those, we saw that in that slide, the swap out parts or the articulation. You're getting the sword, you're getting Big Boy, you've got the coat, you've even got that sweatshirt. And
the horns come, the horns are great.
One of my favorites, and you talked about the original artwork, is the small hooves.
Yeah.
The small hooves of the feet. Now that is the Hellboy. They are also sold separately, of course, and the Lobster Johnson figure as well. I'm loving, I'm a 6 scale, we know, but the 12 scale is definitely bringing me in, particularly with just how articulated these can be. A 30th anniversary. And these are just 2 of them. I have a feeling that we'll see more characters from that.
Side.show/FR Live to get an even closer look at both of those figures and the Gremlins.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Have you been keeping up in the Hot Toys news?
I think so.
Have you seen these?
Oh, well,
have you seen these?
Gosh, how can you not?
Okay, we talk about you and I doing a show. This guy put on one killer show, didn't he?
He did.
I love what he's coming with.
Yeah.
The fact that we're getting, not only is the figure spectacular and the outfit, but it's really a whole diorama. He's got that Live with Murray Franklin backdrop.
You're getting the whole talk show backdrop here. I mean, look, just even in that picture alone, his
curtains.
ability to move the curtains aside, like it's time for the Joker to take center stage.
Absolutely.
It's really, really great. The articulation when he's sitting in the chair, just the casual holding of the cigarette there. It is. It's unreal. I mean, you look at some of these pictures and they look like set photos. It's
they
so
absolutely
realistic.
do. And this is one of those cool things that, because of the articulation that Hot Toys does with these things, you are able to recreate these subtle moments. Not all just action. These sitting there listening, waiting for his moment and waiting to tell his joke.
Yep. It's great. And perfectly in time for the sequel coming up.
Yep.
You just got to grab Robert De Niro from The Godfather.
Yeah,
or
there
from
you
Heat
go. There
and
you
have
go.
him sit
And
in.
you have him there. Now, you and I talked about it on Sideshow Spotlight last Friday. We talked a little bit about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Great.
How many viewings are you up to now?
I'm only on 3 right now.
Oh, hey, we're tied.
three.
We're tied
Hey,
at 3.
there you
Tied
go.
at
I
3.
love it.
They have just shown off 2 brand new 6-scale figures from that Lady Pool.
Oh,
Let's take a look at
course.
Lady Pool. Now, you were here with us through Sideshow Live May 4th, some of the others, and gotten to see that Hot Toys is now doing stuff with the wool hair.
Yeah.
And this one here has that wool hair.
That ponytail is great too, though.
And
it's
absolutely fantastic.
And you've got the whole family here. So you've got Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively and their children all together here. But you got Lady Pool without the Wolverine claw damage there, but she's looking great. She's got those katanas. And then
you've got the
whole crew.
Yes,
you've got
because
Kid
Pool is in there. That Lady Pool, and we're going to have a first look at that coming up. Her katanas actually are named Hall & Oates, and they have gone and made that part of the figure as well.
That is really incredible.
We look at Kid Pool.
He's got the squirt guns.
He comes with squirt guns and furniture. So now I think that love seat is definitely a curb find.
Yeah.
It is not something that you probably bought in the store.
A lot of wear and tear.
A lot of wear and tear.
Oh, there it is.
But getting something like that is absolutely fantastic.
And there they are, the whole family.
There you go. And
Good
now
picture.
is your chance to get all of these. Take a look, and you're able to pre-order all of these figures right now at side.show.
We're talking about
/FB
all these
Live.
Hot Toys, though. I almost feel like we got to give something away here, right?
Zip.
This is just a tease.
We have been rewinding. We've been going back in time, and the guy that
is
taught
the
us how to
rewind.
do it at 88 miles per hour was Dr. Emmett Brown. Dr. Emmett Brown. And right now, we're going to be giving him away. So go to side.show/FR Live, and you are going to enter to win this Doc Brown figure. So enter right now. Man, we got to go back and see a lot of stuff.
We certainly did. He's also part of the Fandom Rewind deals. He's 30% off right now as well.
Absolutely. We're going to have a winner that we're going to announce in just a little bit, but if you are not the winner, he is currently 30% off. There's a lot of things for 30%
There's so many on the site.
Let's bring up a slide for you to be able to see. Yes. Okay. Right now, side.show
Big deal.
FR Live. You're going to have a little box there to click on. It's going to take you to the list of in-stock products that are 30% off right now during the Fandom Rewind event that happens this week.
But it's on the clock.
30% off is pretty big savings. And when you look at the things that are on there, some of them are just really, really big amount of savings. If you have ever been on the fence, when things start to get into that 30% off, very rarely are you ever going to see a deal better than that. So you get those, but that ends on Friday the 23rd. Now there's something else coming up on Friday the 23rd.
Oh, Friday the 23rd. I
Friday
think
the
there's something
20th.
in
What
my
we got?
calendar. It might be a Sideshow Live.
It is Sideshow. It is going to be our Sideshow Spotlight Live. Now, Sideshow Spotlight is your opportunity as a fan to not only interact, but to see things. It's really more of a fan-based thing. And you're going to get to talk to us and ask us about things that you'd also like to see.
For sure.
Now, coming up this week.
Every Friday,
Every
11
Friday
a.m.
at 11 a.m. is Sideshow Live. But this week, I got to take a look at that Scum and Villainy collection.
Yes.
And Friday at 11, you are going to look at them.
I was a little jealous that you guys look at them, so I want to take my own look at them now.
Absolutely. So Chris is going to be here at 11 a.m., so make sure you are tuned in, and you never know what surprises we've got going on in that show as well. Okay. We got to look at a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Was there one that stood out for you that you came out of nowhere, you didn't know about it, or something that you learned today?
Well, I knew that I was going to be talking about the Mystique statue. I hadn't seen it before, though, and seeing it up close, I mean, it's really a fantastic design. I'm a big X-Men fan. We've talked about this
Yes.
before, especially at 97 coming out, with Wolverine being back on screens.
Yeah.
Seeing Mystique, who I was convinced that she was going to show up in 97, thought she was Val Cooper. But I loved seeing her here, and I thought it was so cool. And especially, I really loved that, she had that display behind her with like Toad and Pyro and Blob and Destiny, and she was ready to break them all out. And it just looked so cool the way that she was transforming from the Guard into Mystique. It was like, that is my version of Mystique, and I'm just like, this is amazing.
Seeing that the way that Kat did the paint. When I was watching the video of her doing it, and she's kind of probably the lightest misting of airbrush, particularly in that transformation area, and I love those swap out pieces. Yes, many fans are going to want it traditional, but for me, this is the statue I'm doing with that transformation.
That's the thing, too. There's so many versions of Mystique. I mean, you've got, from the movies even, like Rebecca Romaine Stamos, you've got Jennifer Lawrence, and in the comics, Mystique does change her look as often as she changes her appearance, but this is that iconic Mystique. She's got the little, skull up on her forehead. She's got the white suit, the long boots, and that beautiful blue skin.
And now with the bling. We're talking about bling a little more.
Yeah, she's got her own utility.
Belt bling is today's word, is belt bling.
Belt bling. But there's also some other bling, because I would even say that Doc Brown here is a little bit bling for somebody, because
particularly, who is it for?
We do have a winner, Lance Melnick. Congratulations to you. You are going over 88 miles per hour, because Doc Brown is coming home.
Congratulations. Well, wow. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on all week long at the Fandom Rewind event. We've got that 4 o'clock show coming up later on today. Friday, you're going to be doing a spotlight and taking a look at the Scum and Villainy collection.
Scum and Villainy.
Once again.
Most wretched hive.
Absolutely spectacular. Going to have your blue milk. That's a blue milk and donut kind of morning. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Guy.
I'm Chris.
And until next time, don't forget to let your geek
Sideshow.